How's it going, guys? My name is Elbow Fever. I'm a former Tier 2 coach becoming a content creator, and today we're going to be talking about ult economy, and not just ult economy, but ult usage and how to understand what in the world is going on the top left and right of my screen right here, both as a coach when you're coaching and stuff, or as just a passive viewer, so you know what the heck's going on in a fight. So, starting off the bat, I like to think of ultimates as three different types of ults, right? First, we have the engage, right? So this is going to be the engagement ultimate. After that, we're going to have the tempo ultimate, and finally, finish. Just finish. The finisher ultimate, right? So these definitions, right, these little terms, they're very self-explanatory. When I'm talking about ultimates that are engagement ultimates, well, that's a thick-ass line. Woo! When I'm talking about ultimates that are engagement ultimates, we are going to be using them to start off a fight. We want to use engagement ultimates to take a quick lead, take a quick advantage, and put the momentum on our side. Tempo ultimates are a little bit more complicated. The whole idea is you're trying to take back the advantage and push your own sort of win conditions instead of defending from the enemies pushing you. And finally, the finisher ultimate, which is the one that gets kills and finishes the fight and say, okay, we're done now. Let's stop fighting, right? Because your entire team is dead, or my entire team is dead. Let's stop fighting. Right. A lot of times, though, unfortunately, we end up in finisher ultimates, and the team fight still goes on for another 2 minutes as everyone staggers. Oh, that's annoying. So, actually, I don't want to get rid of that. My bad. So, when we talk about these ultimates, how do I like to classify them? Well, let's put it this way. Right. Let's just use the E, T, and F. And the reason I have this game up is so we can see these little viewers, and also this game in particular because I wanted to look at mag, hint hint for the future. So whenever I am coaching, right, doing VOD reviews or just passively watching, I always keep stock of the heroes up top, right? Their ult, how much they have charged, either like, oh, they have it 50%, 30%, 87%. What do all those numbers mean? But also I ask myself, hey, what is this ultimate good for? Each ultimate has one thing they are great for. It is their best use. They are the best at either engaging, using a tempo, or finishing a fight. So we can go across and we can pretty much mark down each and every one of these ultimates. Let's start over here, right? Zenyatta. Obviously, this is going to be a tempo ultimate. Enemy grabs, enemy blades, enemy throws out a big old finisher ultimate, and you say, I don't want to end the fight now, and actually, I'm the one in advantage because all my teammates, they can't be hurt. I mean, unless there's like grenade or something. So, boom, tempo ultimate, you're taking back the fight. Rally? Well, actually, you could kind of use it as a tempo ultimate, but it's best for engages, right? You want the rally to get on everyone really early. You want to really use that armor that everyone gets, and you want to push in, right, with this like raid boss of a character, a shield, a mace, terrifying glowing aura to her. Once the armor is actually applied after a few seconds, that's when it becomes really powerful. But right as you use it, there's a little bit of a ramp up time before it actually becomes useful. So engagement ultimate, 100%. Hog, I mean, this one is a bit in the air. I'm gonna put a finisher on it for now, but like we can come back to it. Maybe even tempo. I'll drop it at tempo. Right? You can see that some of these things are really hard to clarify which is which. Ball, right? Ball, he has his minefields. We'll call that a really nice. It can be called engage or tempo. Which one do I like more? We'll just say engage for now. We'll just engage for now. Echo, amazing tempo. Pulse bomb, really great finisher, right? So I talked about all of these, and there was a lot. Like two out of the 6 heroes here, I couldn't quite perfectly put on whether I thought it was an engagement or tempo or finisher. Like, it's really difficult. That's why it's really important to understand that there's actually a second tier of these three: engagement, tempo, and finisher ultimates for each ultimate that's used. So while obviously Zenyatta's Transcendence is just straight up best for tempo ultimate, you can get away with it as an engagement ultimate. Sometimes you just desperately need to touch point and your whole team is there and you're about to walk into a shit show. You transcend. It's a thing, I swear. Trance Rush is a thing. Don't look at me crazy like that. I know you're looking at me crazy like that. Brig, it can be used as a really effective tempo ultimate. Like, if you have a moment where you can take a breather, take a second just to regroup, just for that little moment, that tempo ultimate of a rally can be very, very powerful, right? Again, it needs a little time to ramp up. Like we said before, right? Can Hog be considered a tempo or a finisher ultimate? Well, it does a lot of damage, but it also knocks people back a lot, right? That's kind of its biggest thing. That's why I called it a tempo ultimate at the very end. But it can be used as a finisher. It can be used to just deal out damage, put things into corners, and shred, right? Ball, obviously can be used as, oh my goodness, whoops. Obviously, it can be used as a wonderful tempo ultimate. You drop it in the middle of the field, and all of a sudden, it becomes super hard to touch the point, or walk in this certain area that might be really important to walk in. It's just a really powerful tempo ultimate in that way. We can use Echo as an engagement. And we can use same thing. We can use this as an engagement ultimate as well, right? Trace is just a little bit flexible in that way. Now, we talked about, so if we were to kind of grade this would be the best right here. Actually, I'll just type it. That'll be easier. So this is just this is best use, right? All of this stuff right here, finisher, tempo, engagement, right? All of these ultimates are its best use. But you also can have second best. Look at that. Then you have your second best used ultimates, right? Even though it's not the best, engagement ultimate, you can use Trance as an engagement ultimate. You can use Rally as a tempo ultimate. And then, of course, we have worst. See, you might be thinking to yourself, well, why is it worst? Why isn't it third best or something? Think of it about this way. You almost never want to get to a point where you're actually using one of these ultimates for its worst cause, right? Sure, Tracer Pulse Bomb is the most flexible, right? You definitely can use it in the mid fight. You definitely can use it to gain back momentum, but it's an impact frag. A lot of times that impact frag is going to be most important in the end or in the beginning. In the middle, it kind of just blends in, and the Pulse Bomb kill, while still, again, impactful, it's not going to be nearly as so with the best and second best usage. All right? Not a good finisher ultimate. It's probably just a waste, honestly. It's probably just a waste. And also, with Echo Copy, right, it's a really bad finisher ultimate, just like Rally, because it takes time to ramp up, right? We can even say that same thing right here. Boom, a terrible finisher ultimate. I mean, Rally's not giving you a damage boost. Rally's not going to make things kill faster. It kind of makes your team just survive longer and you to be a pain in the ass. Ball, really bad finisher ultimates. If you are trying to finish a fight with a pile driver and a minefield, it can work. But I mean, you just get so much more value from engaging with it or using it as a tempo ultimate. Garbage engagement ultimates. God, Hog going in and just pushing all of them away. What a terrible way to open a fight. Because now shit, we can't hit any of them because you just booped them all away. You booped them to safety during our engagement. Just awful. And this has got to be the most egregious. How are you supposed to use Transcendence to finish a fight? How? You're literally just taking damage away from the fight because now you can't change discords or add just more Zen orbs. This is literally a negative. All the other ones could be maybe a positive, maybe this one's a negative. This one's just a quadruple negative. Okay. So now that we've done this, let's do it one more time on the other side of the board. We did it for WGS Phoenix. Let's do it with Runaway, just as a little practice of this exercise, right? You can do this with every hero. If you want to write this out with every hero, go for it. I'm not doing that. That's a lot So let's start off with the Ashe with Bob. This is really difficult. Which one is best or second best? But I'm going to put it at tempo. We can discuss whether you think that's a better engagement ultimate or a tempo ultimate, but I'm going to put it as tempo because the Bob coming out instantly, knocking people up into the air, and just having that seventh man can be really powerful, especially if you like start going down people. Bob can really replace that and put a lot of pressure on like off angles that would be easily sort of dealt with in the early fight. Tracer, I mean, same thing, copy and paste. Winston, tempo ultimate, no doubt about it. D.Va Bomb. I'm not thinking about that one. Let me go to the next one real quick. Engagement ultimate, really easy. And I like this. I'm gonna say engagement. I'm gonna say engagement for the Ana, but we'll go to the second in a moment. D.Va, I actually had to think about this, because you can use D.Va to finish kills, but I don't think it's that good for that. I think probably tempo engagement are definitely its best usage, but do I think it's engagement, like engage bombs, or I want to say tempo. I think there's just more uses for D.Va as tempo, just like using it to get back your mech, using it to create space, using it to re-engage. These are all going to be really strong. All right, where when we talk about the engagement, it's very simplistic. I'm not gonna lie. You're probably not gonna get any kills. It's literally just so the rest of your team can push forward. I don't know. It's kind of one note compared to tempo, where it has multiple layers. I want to put engagement here. Right. Again, we can debate what should be which. Doesn't really matter. Copy and paste from the other side. Thank you. Gotta look at my great handwriting. See, this is why I use this is why I write shit out most of the time. Monkey, we could say this could be an okay engagement. Mercy, we can say this would be an okay tempo. Ana is a pretty solid tempo as well. And then finally, the red, the F tier, the worst usage of all the three. We're gonna say it's a really bad finisher ultimate. Don't finish fights with Bob. He doesn't like have the like fragging output that you need to finish with Bob. It's a lot of off angle pressuring that can get kills if not dealt with properly, but most of the time it's really just like a space buyer. Copy and paste. Okay, next we have the Monkey. Dude, if you're trying to just like nano blade but with a primal rage, I don't know what you're doing, man. Maybe calm your farm and go back to quick play. Just awful finisher ultimate. Like, does this bomb ever get kills? I mean, obviously it does, but also in 2021, I feel like people are just smarter than that. Pull out the Glicky. Pew, pew, pew. And finisher ultimate, I mean, again, it's just unreliable. Something we can also look at right here, by the way, is not all of these are like equally weighted, right? Second best can mean, hey, that's a pretty good option, right? It's a viable, it's a viable second choice. Second best could also mean it's garbage. You know what I mean? So like, for example, let's look at Winston. Mag, haha. I want to talk about this guy in the future, by the way. Not in this video, but his best choice as a tempo ultimate is Godly. Oh my god, the instant 1000 health, like the speed buff, the big ass boopity boopity with the swingy arms, amazing. Super hard to pin down. A great tempo ultimate. Engagement ultimate, absolutely garbage. Do not engage with a Monkey ult. If I see anyone jumping in there before they hit the ground already primal raging, there's something wrong with this situation, right? Where we look at Ashe, and it's like a really hard debate. Is it a tempo? Is it engagement? You gotta kind of think about it in a couple of different ways, right? So, all because this is best and this is second best, don't treat this like you can only do the best thing, right? Sometimes second best is kind of necessary, and every once in a while you gotta just do the worst option. But what this should come out to is you should probably do this most of the time, and then you should be kind of considering the second use. Okay, So that's a really important concept that you need to understand, the difference between all three of these ultimates, right? So how does that make any sense? Oops, I did not mean to erase that. Oh no. Oh, it's so fidgety, dude. It's so fidgety. It's so fidgety. Whatever, it's all gone. Goodbye. So how in the world are we supposed to make sense of any of that, though, during the mid-fight? Well, a lot of this comes down to just watching this top little bar over here and sort of thinking it out in your head. What I like to do is sort of like game plan for each team. So I'll start with whatever team I like the most. I'll go, okay, what are their win conditions? How are they going to win the fight? Well, they have a really great ultimate as like a tempo or an engagement right here. They have a really great engagement ultimate on the Mercy. Right, we might even see that as a tempo ultimate to really try to swing things, and a primal and a bomb. So they have a lot of sustain, right? They have a lot of ultimates that can be used as a tempo ult. So they're gonna try to drag out the fight, and most likely they're going to try to out resource the enemy team just because they have these ultimates to work with, right? You don't have Bob. Right, 30% they don't have Bob, and Tracer they might have it during the mid fight, or depending how much the Tracer does, or by the end of the fight. Right, Tracer's pulse bomb builds pretty fast, so 50% is a pretty solid number. I would probably say though around 65-70% though is when you really want to be considering that pulse bomb being online. So in total, they have 3 ultimates right away, but they're going to have this monkey ult right here. I would say the magic number, by the way, if you're looking at ultimates and you're not really sure how fast these ultimates build, I mean, so you should know that, by the way. It's important to learn that. But with the monkey ultimate that kind of builds at a medium speed, 80%, he's going to have it. You can bet on it. 70% is the number, though, for pretty much every ultimate where I go, okay, they'll at least have it by the mid fight, if not by the engagement, if they get like good poke in and stuff, you know? So 70% at least the mid fight, 80% I'm pretty much guaranteed, as long as they don't throw or just die instantly, they're going to have their ultimate for that fight. Looking at the other side, where these guys have 4 ultimates, 1... Right, and then if we're doing the same thing, like 70 or like 80 plus or 70 plus, they have 3 ultimates. Right, what are these ultimates good for? Well, we have a pretty good pseudo engagement. We can use as engage. We have a really great tempo and a really great tempo or engage. So depending on which ability they start using first is going to sort of play out the rest of the fight. And at 66%, close to 70, I'm keeping an eye on Aztec, keeping an eye on the Zen, and wondering, how much damage is he going to do this fight? If he's popping off, maybe not even getting kills, but landing a lot of good shots, well then we should be considering him in the mid fight, right? So let's actually watch this fight. This fight gets really hectic. It's crazy. Watching this game has been so nuts because Runaway has this like really passive style where they're playing almost like an anti-dive. It's really hard to explain, but the whole idea is these guys go first and the Runaway goes, yeah, you guys suck. Kind of like that. The problem is if WGS Phoenix gets off a good dive, then the initiation is strong enough to break that whole game. Okay. Whatever, I'll just go down into it. Let's see what happens. I'm turning off the audio because it's all in Korean, and I feel like that would make really bad video content for me, right? So Ash just killed Faith, so Faith is respawning. We're waiting a little bit more. We're seeing some more ult build up a little bit. Ooh, Assassin at 60%. To his ultimate. Hey, that's a little closer now. Now we're starting to see this Echo getting really close to that 70 mark as well. So again, I'm keeping my eye on that. At this point, I'm like, all right, Zen already has his ultimate. Hey, so as the fight is sort of waiting, I have to reassess. Hey, what do they have? Right, and in my mind, I'm asking, so what does this mean? What are they gonna do? Let's check it out. Okay, ball comes in. He's getting set up. Looks like Minefields is going to come out first this fight. And boom, we're seeing Minefields used as an engagement. we are seeing a counter engage from Runaway using both of their support ults. Okay, so this fight's about to get crazy. They're gonna drop a minefield in our backline so we can't back up. Fine, we'll just push forward. All right, so we're seeing a little bit of aggression, and actually that's a really great job of splitting WGS Phoenix from their ball. So now their push is completely shut down, right? So unfortunately, right, obviously you don't want to use two ultimates to deny one ultimate. But that's not a bad trade. That's not a bad trade at all. Hammond mines are really flexible, they're really powerful, and they're a pain in the ass. So maybe you consider this worth it. I don't know why I pressed spacebar. That didn't do anything. I had to click. Okay, the retreat. Look, so they use those ultimates to clear the mines. We're seeing the Hog and the Rally being used as tempo to like sort of take back, right? So now we take stock of our ultimates. Okay, we still have Valk online, but it's going to end soon. Mag and Huyal still have their tank ults, and now we pretty much guarantee we'll have this pulse bomb, right? And in real time, you got to do this a lot faster than how I'm speaking right now, but you'll see like moments like this where things sort of slow down. If you actually watch Overwatch, like at Overwatch League or Contenders level, you're going to see the game like ramp up, get really exciting, slow down for a second, and then explode back into these fights. This is called ebb and flow. This is the time where you need to take stock of what in the world is going on. And this right here is the fastest resource to figuring out, hey, what's about to happen? All right. So we're probably going to see, tempo. Maybe we can consider this an engagement. Assassin dead though at 89%. So that pulse bomb is not going to be on the line for at least 15 seconds as he respawns. Oh, that's a really big thing. Monkey goes in. Really great split. We're probably going to see a Primal Rage here if he can't back up. Yep. Oh, Mag goes in deep. He's going to Primal Rage here. He does. There's the res. 90% onto the Bob, so we're going to be looking out for that as well. There's the Echo Ultimate, again used as a really strong tempo. You could not get the Diva Bomb off on time though. Trance coming out, right? Just making sure, just solidifying the position, making sure nothing goes wrong. There's the Pulse Bomb, trying to look for impact frags in the mid fight, is unable to find it, which is a little unfortunate. But the re-engagement of Mag and the nano boost. By the way, I have not mentioned this. This is actually my fault because I should have mentioned this. Look how fast this nano builds. Jeez, right? These two support ults have been building so quickly that to a point where in one fight, right, relatively one fight, you can't see my air quotes, they already have a second one. And they're using it here to make this re-engagement. Tracer goes in, they're getting some kills, and if this didn't work, we'd probably see a Valk come out next from them. So, pretty interesting stuff. We pretty much predicted that whole fight, in a sense, right? We looked at it and went, actually, let's go back a couple seconds. Let's go back to this point right here. So at this point right here, we pretty much guessed what was going to happen this entire time. I was a little bit thrown off by both of these ultimates coming out at once, but the Ball did the engagement ultimate with his mines. We saw Mag do a pretty standard sort of, tempo ultimate with his ult, right, to keep the fight kind of chaotic and in their favor, right? We saw the re-engage. You can consider that a tempo or like a pseudo engage from the D.Va, right? Tempo ultimate, engagement ultimate, tempo ultimate. Like, we saw all of this coming, and it wasn't that difficult, realistically. All we had to do is figure out, okay, what are these ultimates good for, right? Really only need to focus on the first two. Really need to focus on the first two, not really focusing on that third worst option. And then we're looking at the numbers and just keeping an eye on them. Being like, oh, that's definitely an ultimate. That's definitely ultimate. That's close. That 70%, that's probably an ultimate. 60%, better keep an eye on her, like that. And yeah. So these fights can seem really, really complicated when we're just passively watching and we're kind of turning our brain off and just having a good time. That is totally fine to crack a beer and enjoy it when you are over the legal drinking age, wherever you are, which is 21 in America. But when we complain about, these fights are confusing and I have no clue what's happening, all we need to do is just, put a little bit of forethought in the quiet moments of the game and figure out what is going to happen. If you can do this as a viewer, that's wonderful. It really will enhance your viewing experience. But if you're a coach, this is a godsend. You need to have this down pat. You need to be doing this on the fly really quickly, and also watching the positioning and cooldown usage and all that jazz. So, a lot more juggling for coaches, but no matter what, I hope this helped everyone out there understand a little bit more about Overwatch. Again, my name is Elbow Fever. Please subscribe, please like, go to my Twitch, and give me your money. All right, thank you.
About you and how you've been treating me, and I thought, why do I love you?
The house creaks as the sun hits my blind eyes. I can feel the cold outside.